a few scriptures. Then I'm going to hurry up and get out of the way. Do we have any builders, carpenters in the house this morning? Okay, I got one back there. All right. The reason I asked that, well, first of all, the subject or the title is what? Only what you do for Christ will last. And I had planned on going a whole different direction, different scripture, but the woman of the house spoke. And when the woman of the house speaking, you know that God's speaking through her, you listen. Well, I'll put it on me. I listen, and I love and appreciate her so much. So anyway, the reason I asked that, for a few moments, we're going to be examining some scriptures. Now, I'll tell you, they all deal with building. Now, our church theme is what? Be free in 2003. Be free in 2003. And we're going to examine a few scriptures and just see what God has to say about that as far as us building a solid foundation as we go and enter into the remaining of 2003. So let me go ahead. Like I said, I like being up here. Now, our first scripture, if you would turn, if you'd like to, is Amos 7-8. Amos 7-8. Give you a few moments to go ahead and find that. Reads as follows, and each scripture that I'll be sharing this morning is coming from the NIV. Thus he showed me, and behold, the Lord was standing by a vertical wall with a plumb line in his hand. The Lord said to me, "What do you see, Amos?" I said, "A plumb line." Then the Lord said, "Behold, I am the plumb line in the midst of my people, Israel." Now, here this last part says, "I will spare them no more." I will spare them no more. Now, we know that, and we can speak about and crown that God loves us and saves us, but what does that really mean in 2003? What foundation are we laying for our children, for our grandchildren, for our neighbors, for our co-workers in 2003? And let's not, I'm talking to myself, let's ask God to help us not to fall into those same traps that we fell in last year that kept us from being free. Now, the plumb line, the reason I asked that, the plumb line is used for measurement. It's on a little string, and I won't get all the technical part because I want to stay on track. But it's used for building. It's used for measurements. You could maybe see it. I'm sorry about that. So a plumb line is used for building. It's used for measurements. And just briefly, what this scripture was saying to me, that God is placing a plumb line in each and every one of our homes, our hearts, our spirits. And he says, now be caution. He says, in the midst of our people Israel, I will spare them. No more. No more. Now, does that sound like my wife would have a thing? Does it sound like he's playing? he ain't playing. And here's the thing. Yes, he's a God of love. He's also